Today's video is all about the money. So let's talk about how pro wrestlers get paid. I'm Mike Quackenbush, and this is Till We Make It. Right here on my channel, I make videos for fellow professional wrestlers at every single stage of their career. So whether you are just starting out, you're transitioning from being a fan to being in the ring, or you're a decorated veteran in the autumn of their career, looking for ways to stay relevant and stay inspired, this channel is for you. And if you're down with that, what are you waiting for? Go ahead and join the Till We Make It tribe. Subscribe right now and ring the notification bell so you never miss one of my videos. Today's video is all about how pro wrestlers get paid. And I'm going to knock this out right out of the gate so we're all on the same page. In today's video, I am not talking about the exact shape the currency takes. By that I mean, at the independent level of wrestling, for example, it's most common to be paid in cash, while at the corporate level of wrestling, it's most common to receive a direct deposit in your bank account. And yes, while some people get paid via check, or some people get paid via Venmo or PayPal, that is not what I'm going to be covering in today's video. I'm talking about the methodology of how wrestlers decide what they're going to be paid. That's what we're going to be covering starting right now. There are 5 basic ways pro wrestlers get paid, and the one that's probably most relevant to the majority of you watching is what you find at the independent level of wrestling, where the most common way a wrestler gets paid is by a flat fee. And a flat fee is a fixed number that's agreed upon in advance. But if you are a freelancer, you're an independently contracted pro wrestler, you get to decide your own fixed fee. And sometimes this might be referred to as your price, your booking fee, your asking fee, or any number of similar terms. But ultimately, it's a number that you come up with and agree upon with a promoter in advance. So you can decide that your asking fee is $25 or $250 or $2,500. It's up to you to decide, but you'd better be ready to negotiate on that price. Okay, now let's switch to the corporate level of wrestling. The most common way pro wrestlers get paid at the corporate level is via contracted rates. And there's 2 types of contracts that I want to discuss with you. One is an annual contract and the other is an appearance contract. So up first, the annual contract. This type of contract guarantees you a minimum amount of money that you will earn each year of the deal. And you might sign a 1-year contract, a 3-year contract, a 10-year contract, although those are rather unusual in wrestling, and it guarantees you a fixed amount of money for each of those years. So you might sign a 3-year contract that guarantees you a minimum of $50,000 for each of those 3 years. Or you might be offered an appearance contract, which is a very different type of beast. It might say something like this: you are going to wrestle 12 matches for us over the course of the next year, and for each of those 12 matches, you will be paid $500. Both an annual and an appearance contract come with the opportunity for you to earn bonuses, provided you negotiate for that and agree on it before you sign. And what kind of bonuses? Well, it's not unusual for an annual contract to pay out a bonus if your likeness is used in a video game, or they use your likeness to create an action figure. Before I dive into the next way pro wrestlers get paid, I need to ask for your help. It is my goal this year to reach 100 patrons over on my Patreon. And if the kind of information that I share with you right here on YouTube, week in and week out, is important, then please consider supporting my work. Follow the link that's down below in the descriptus, and you can join our Patreon community for as little as $5 a month. I want to reach 100 patrons before the year is out, and I want to keep Till We Make It a weekly YouTube channel, but it won't be possible without your help. An additional way wrestlers at the corporate level can earn money is if their contract allows for them to take third-party bookings. So in any contract situation, the the person offering the contract is a party, and the person signing the contract is a second party. And a third party might be another wrestling organization who wants to book that signed talent. Now, not all contracts allow for this. There might be varying degrees of exclusivity based on what type of contract and the exact terms that are agreed upon. But there are organizations out there that allow their contracted wrestlers to take third-party bookings. And when they book their talent out to another wrestling promoter, well, that's another way in which they get paid. Many times, the wrestler has no control over what rate is being charged to that third party. So for example, let's say that I'm going to promote a card of wrestling in my hometown at a local venue, and I call up the Impact Wrestling talent offices because I want to book one of their talents. They might quote me a price without ever consulting the wrestler in question. And this is because they're going to handle all of the money. They will probably take a percentage for functioning as a middleman on the deal, and then just pass the rest on to the wrestler in their very next paycheck. And an alternative to all of that is what we see with a company like CMLL, the oldest wrestling company on earth. Based out of Mexico City, Consejo Mundial de Lucha Libre pays their luchadors based on their position on the card. So, the luchadors wrestling in the very first match get paid less than the luchadors appearing in the second match. And the luchadors appearing in the third match earn more than the second match, but less than the fourth match. And by the time you work your way all the way up to the fifth match, the main event, the Lucha Estelar, not only is that commensurate with an increase in your status within the organization, but it also means you're getting paid more. As an alternative to all of these are those wrestlers out there who get paid a percentage of the gate. So they take a cut of the entire gross of all the ticket sales for the card that they are appearing on. This is true especially of very in-demand or high-priced talent. So as an example, let's say a wrestler agrees to appear for 5% of the gate, and that night's event sells 900 tickets at $25 each, so it grosses $22,500. That means, and why did I pick these numbers? That wrestler would earn $1,125, or 5% of that $22,500 gate. I did have to stop and calculate that to make sure I got it right. I don't know why I made up those numbers. But a really famous example of that was Gorgeous George, who at the height of his drawing power commanded a whopping 50% of the gate to appear. And while these are the main ways pro wrestlers get paid, I want you to know there are others out there too. Here's an example. Back in the 00s, I worked for a promoter who routinely paid out a $100 bonus to everybody on the card if we broke 1,000 tickets sold for the event. The moment the 1,000th ticket got sold, everybody got a $100 bonus. I'm also well aware of promoters out there who automatically double their wrestlers' pay if they are willing to provide some blood during the course of a match, honoring that age-old wrestling adage of red equals green. So if you're willing to put a little juice on the mat, add a little color to the match, you could expect your pay to be doubled for that service. And there are others out there as well. Did I miss any? Tell me below down in the comments right now. Click on the video that's appearing on screen right now to learn how to handle your money like a pro. It's one of the very first videos I ever made for Till We Make It, and I also happen to think it is one of the most valuable. Or click on the P icon appearing on screen right now. It will take you to my Patreon, where you can start unlocking 700 exclusive posts all about professional wrestling.